But it's showing.
Okay, now I'm not editing. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can.
You can? Is it better?
It's still crackling.
What is going on?
Or at least it is for me.
Y'all, everybody in the chat, is my sound bad? Because something is wrong. Of course, it's just storming, sleeting outside, but who knows?
Technology.
Just trying to get this fixed. Oh, Red, will you? It's crackly. What the hell? What?
Hello, Indigo.
Red, would you please send that link to T, please? Can you?
Let's see. I'm slow going today because it's cold. Everything is because it's cold. It's horrible. Hey, Brian. Hey, Katie. Indigo. Sorry, babe. It all come together all so quick, so I wasn't able to send you another text back. We got Teresa with Wounds to Wisdom and Brazy. Hi, Brazy. Oh, and I'm on Top Chat. Y'all always check that Top Chat because it gets me every time.
What about now?
The fact that we can hear you, I'm okay with it.
No, I'm not okay if it's still crackling, though.
So crackly.
Hey, what in the hell?
Enough is enough. Good to see you.
Okay, so let me try it this way. Is that any better, or do I just need to change mics?
Might need to change mics.
Okay, gotcha. Hang on. Y'all be patient. Give me just a minute. I will get this stuff together.
So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Wounds to Wisdom, Teresa has actually started running on her channel. And she's got some great insight. And she also deals with grief management. And so you might want to check her out and see what she's got to say. She's got a lot of really good help. How's everybody been? Is it cold everywhere? I think my chat's messing up too. I tell you, this technology thing, used to, we could just pick up the phone, dial the number, talk, hang up. Everything was good. It's weird, though, because with it being all quiet. Let's see. -27 degrees. We've been running in the high teens to the 30s, but we got like 5 inches of snow today. The fur babe went outside and was like a snowplow through it, and then put his head up and had a big old snow beard. Yeah, that's what's got a lot of us worried. Many prayers. Indigo, mine too. My whole body is just screaming at me. Of course, Teresa. Whoa, Katie, what?
On there, hello.
What is that? Talk some more. I think it's better, but I can't tell.
I don't even know what this is.
And you switched out mics? Keela. Did you switch out mics? You okay, babes?
Action.
I can't hear you say anything, babe. Yeah, it's muted. What in the world? I can see you talking, but I can't hear a thing you're saying. It's like it's muted, but it's not showing muted. Nothing. Try maybe going back out, come back in, see if it'll reset it. Y'all, I know that we make it look like it's easy around here, but it stinks. There's so many different factors that you have to take into account. You've got the weather, you've got your internet, you've got your computer, your all that fun stuff. Who'd have thought? Okay. So how much is 19 degrees to the negative Celsius for Fahrenheit? Because I am not smart enough to figure that out. Hey, Sense, good to see you. Very good to see you. Yeah, I think that's a lot of it is StreamYard. I really, really do. They've been having sound issues like crazy the last couple of weeks. I'm just trying to go through here and read some of these chats because I can't. It's hard for me because I can't hardly see. Laura, how are you? And there she is. Oh.
Is it working?
Yes, that's it.
I'm done.
That was StreamYard.
StreamYard. Imagine that.
Grr.
No, I really was on time today too.
Yeah, you did great. It's just
StreamYard. Believe it.
Everybody,
I was in time.
Yeah.
But I guess it had. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. Ooh. Oh Lord, I don't know which phone's going off now. I don't even want to talk about the degrees. I don't want to talk about anything because I'm going to tell y'all I'm traumatized right now of the cold. It's sleeting, it's raining, and I'm frozen. And don't laugh.
Yeah.
Everybody up north, no, don't laugh because it's let's see.
It sucks. My toes, I have not felt them.
28 degrees outside. 28. 28. Guys, I live in the South for a reason.
Blakey.
Blake, hey, baby. I'm late too. Don't worry. Actually, I wasn't late. Hey, Laura. Yeah. Thank you, Laura. I did. That's reset. I think it was StreamYard. I reset it. Thank you so much. Bradley girl. Hey, Katie, everybody. Wednesday with some Brian, everybody. I see y'all. Thank you for being here. Red, thank you.
They were so
And
patient.
Body Illusion, and yes,
Brittany.
everybody. Brittany, she's in here. Yay. Hey, Britt. I am. Oh, no. Hey, Cindy, how are you, baby?
Body illusion.
Where'd she go? There she is. Hey,
Why do you think we don't
Blossom.
like you?
Yes, and Bradley girl, and
We got the best
Body
people in the
Illusion makes
group.
me so happy when I see her in here.
I know it.
It's 27 and snowing. Well, it was 20, whatever I just said, and sleeting here.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what it is here.
It is, Cindy. It's about grief. We're going to talk about several kinds of grief also. Brittany, that's my baby. She's at work. How are you, honey? And Blossom, I missed you. I haven't talked to you in a while. Feels like it anyway. It probably was yesterday, but who knows? Yes,
Are your
Brittany.
days running together? Mine are.
Hey, Paige. Yeah, Indigo. Hey, babe. I don't know. I showed you the pictures.
Yeah.
Even though she's trying to get dinner done. So this was requested, and I have done a ton of going back through my notes. I mean, you know what you know because you practice it every day. But when something hits you that you don't practice every day, or you don't practice with it, so what we do is we go back and learn and refresh your courses. And you actually gave me my continuing education courses over this. So, I mean, it sounds like it should be so difficult. I mean, so easy, but I don't want to tell anybody wrong. So I'm going to definitely look it up because to see where I need to refresh in. And there was some new things actually that I learned. And so I'm going to ask this question for the chat. And this is for the chat. And everybody can y'all just post on grief. Okay, on grief. Has anybody, I just want to hear yes or no, if anybody has ever grieved somebody even though they're still alive. No matter the circumstance or anything, but while they're still alive, you go through the grieving process. Hey, Corn. Hey, baby. I'm glad you're here. Now you got me confused. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Okay. I'm so glad you're in here, Corn. Enough's enough. Yes. But okay. So I think pretty much yes. Body illusion. Yes. Okay. See, goldenrod girls. I love that. That's freaking bad. I love it. I got to get creative like that. Okay. So recently, yeah. All right. So here we go. Now, second question. And yes, this is an interactive chat. I grieve the time and the bits of personality I lost because of those people. Okay, Blake, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Blake, yes. That's one area we're going to touch on. Absolutely. And what is Goldenrod Girls? I knew I didn't have a father while he was still alive. Well, that's a way to put it. Corn, that's a good one. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's a different way of ever. Wow. Okay. That one threw me off. I grieve my old healthy self. Can I second that?
Right.
Oh, especially today. Okay, so pretty much everything that I've looked up, plus a few more things. I had to grieve the loss of both my parents. It was not a good decade, right? Yeah. I'm going through this currently. You can relate. Okay, Indigo. So now here's your second question, okay? For everybody that said yes or that you're going through it. So I grieved him that way more. Yes. And Corn, that's yes, absolutely. Second question. Okay. All I want to know is if, and I'm doing this for a reason, y'all. I want to know if you're just put yes or no. If you're talking about grieving someone with dementia, Alzheimer's, that you know that they're already gone, or that their death is imminent. And so you're anticipating it, and that's called anticipatory grief. I just want to know if that's what you're talking about. Just put yes or no. I'm just trying to get a consensus here where I need to go with this, because this is huge and there's no way I can pack it into everything. I'm trying to get which road I want to go down. And I knew it was going to be in depth, but I just kind of, okay, so no, yeah, I know yours. Wins to wisdom, yes. No. Okay. Not at this moment. Okay. This is a huge subject. Yes. Okay. Okay. I do not have Snapchat. I don't use Snapchat, and it needs to stop telling me it.
Mhm.
I really don't. I don't get it.
I tried that
Okay.
once, got way confused, and said no.
I'm done
I'm
with
too
it. Yeah,
old.
I can't. I'm too old for that. Yeah, I tried it. Okay, Alzheimer's, yes. Okay, so I'm going to touch on that for just one moment, and it's not going to take a lot of time, only because everybody that has been through Alzheimer's, dementia, I mean, an imminent death. Okay, and you're grieving while they're still alive. The dementia and Alzheimer's is number one of people, family members who grieve while the person's still alive. And the only easiest way I could put it in trigger warnings, I'm just telling y'all now, we're talking about grieving. So obviously we're going to be talking about death. And I just want to put that out there. So that's probably one of the worst diseases. Not probably, it is the worst disease ever known to man.
Yeah.
The person, we're grieving them because they're not who we know anymore. But can you put yourself in their position and wonder who you are and who are these people that keep coming to see me that I don't know? And I'm scared to death, because that's what they're feeling on the inside. So we're grieving while they're scared because they have no idea where they're at.
And the guilt of them telling you that you're their
Yeah.
parent and not being able to recognize that would have to be horrible.
It's huge. It's huge. And Violet, I'm very sorry, because that is the worst. It's just the worst. It takes your loved ones away from you before they're physically gone. Right, Corn. Yeah, it makes you sad for what they have lost to. They do. And ALS is in some ways that way. Yes, absolutely, Cindy. Yes. I know. And see, I'm with you on that. ALS, the mind is sharp, but the body doesn't work anymore. Right. And see, Corn, you're right. They don't even know what they've lost. That's right. They don't even know, because the disease is horrible. My ex-mother-in-law, she's passed away. She said, I don't know what I want to die from, cancer or Alzheimer's. She was like, because she knew she was just starting to get Alzheimer's, or early stage dementia. She would forget and put her keys in the freezer and lock her keys in the car, and then not remember where she was driving to. We started picking up on that. Well, what happened was she did get full-blown dementia, but she also got cancer.
Oh my.
So she did die of cancer, but doesn't remember dying of cancer because she had dementia. So that's, I guess, the only thing I can say that, I mean, if you had to have it, I guess.
My
I just think it's
gosh.
cruel. Okay. So that's what I want to touch on. That is an anticipatory grief. We know that it's coming. We are anticipating it. We know what the prognosis is, the outcome, and things like that. That is part of, then you go through the grieving process. Yeah, I know you're grieving them while they're here, but then when you really have lost them physically, hey, Marie, you lose them again, physically, emotionally and physically. So, right, Brazzy girl, right. Yes. Some family understood, the rest were hard. That's right.
Mom, where's the palette?
That's right. So there's also one, ambiguous grief. Does anybody know what that is? Has anybody heard that term? Right, Corn. Yeah, see, you grieve while they're still alive. Yeah, absolutely.
There is a it's an
Yeah.
album and it's long called The Caretaker, or it's by The Caretaker, and
Mhm.
it's everything. What is it called? Everything everywhere. I'm just pulling it up because yeah,
Okay, you got it. You got it.
it's
Uh, the end.
everywhere at the end of time.
Oh wow.
It is. It starts out. It's like it's got 6 different stages, and I've never made it past like the fourth, but it is reminiscent of what a person's mind goes through when they're going through Alzheimer's. It's like the old timey music, and it changes forms, and it changes like with cognitive abilities. It changes the
Absolutely.
music, and it is so for me. It was so insightful, and
And
it's
they go
definitely
backwards, and they go
yeah,
back. Yeah, so, like, the farther back that I saw my ex-mother-in-law get, that we knew that it was coming close. It's like they start going backwards.
yeah. It's so sad,
Yeah. She
but
would
that
pack up all her st every night.
mm,
That's a did you post that, Misha?
yes, I did. I put it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, and that way it's a good way to just kind of get in the same a little bit of understanding. We can never actually understand it until we're there if we do, but it
No,
just
right.
gives you a little bit of an understanding of wow, that's okay.
Yeah, that's thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, also, the ambiguous grief. This one is, and I'm not even going to try to share the screen on this one. I'm just, y'all don't want to mess anything up. And today I will. Um, ambiguous grief. It occurs when there's no clear reason for a loss or when the loss isn't openly acknowledged, i.e., disconnection, things like that. Um, it can be, it can feel like a state of limbo or purgatory. Examples include a loved one with dementia, falling out with a family member, or breakup or disconnection. You know, there's, I don't know why I didn't get my mouse up here. So on this part, this is the one I wanted to expand on for just a minute. And it says dealing with ambiguous grief, grieving someone who is alive. Okay. And it'll say on here, and it's very current. It's from April of I'm sorry, August of 2024. So, and I'll put the link in the description. I had them all up here. I just didn't have time to run and throw them in the description, but I will. It says when we think of grief, it's usually associated with the death of a loved one. However, grief is complicated. I think we all know that,
Yeah.
right? It can find our way, it can find its way into our lives in several different ways. Anytime we experience a significant life-altering change, big one, we face grief on some level. I mean, does that make sense to y'all? Um,
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you do any life-altering change, saying goodbye to some part of our former life can be hard. So I took that one and thought about that. And I broke that down. And this paragraph, I really broke it down in pieces. And I'm thinking, the first thing I thought of was one of my patients. And I'm going to tell you really quick. I thought of her because she told me when we got her on the on medicine to stop the voices from her schizophrenia, she said, "Why did you do that?" She said, "Now I have no friends."
Oh, oh,
So think about that. They live with those voices in their heads for so long that they're part of them, and we took it away.
wow.
Yeah, that'll gut you when they tell you that, and then you start thinking twice about what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what I did. What am I doing here? I'm making people worse. I'm not making them better.
Golly, that
And
just makes you think so hard. Oh my gosh. It's kind of like, yeah,
yeah, that's literally what I felt. I felt like a piece of crap that just ruined somebody's entire life because we stopped the voices.
and that was how they handled what they were going through and what
Been with them their
and
whole
that's
life.
medicine. Yeah. That's the tricky thing about medicine in general because medicine is there for a reason. It does certain things, but sometimes wow.
Yeah. So that was one that got me. I mean, honestly, and I'm sorry, my mouth and my lips are dry. Not the rest of my body, feet. God, they're horrible. I can't even walk. It's like I can't bend them. Okay. Now, so that was literally, they said they had, the voices were there their whole lives, and now they're gone.
They're all
And
alone.
they're all alone. I took away their best friend. Their best friends, you know. And I see that. I know this. It says a loss is a loss. Our brains need time to absorb and process the shock of having to carry on with our lives in a new and uncertain way. Katie, thank you. Yeah, but when they're not capable of it, you know. Yeah, body illusions, right? When they're not capable of, you know, that they're used to. But that's right. I took them all away. That's exactly what they said. And I'm like, it made me have to think on that a lot. Made me think of several things, but
Yeah.
so
Yeah, my mind's like right now thinking about it. It's like, good Lord, all the
yeah, I
different
mean, like when
implications.
somebody walks up to you and says that, what do you do? I mean, what can you say?
Right.
And then, but our brains do need time to absorb and process the shock of having to carry on with our lives in a new and uncertain way. Emotional loss can be just as overwhelming and challenging to deal with as death. One expression of this trauma is known as ambiguous grief. Okay, what did I say trauma is? Trauma is a wound. That's the simplest definition you can give trauma. Trauma is a wound.
You know, adoption could also be considered ambiguous grief.
Absolutely, it can.
The primal
No,
wound.
it can. Yes.
That causes all kinds of liminality issues.
Yeah, because think about it. They're missing their, I mean, if they're, according to Dr. Gabriel Mate,
Yeah, I love him.
watch. Okay, I do too. So according to him, whatever we do, even no matter if it's at birth and we do something, we're already transforming that baby for the rest of its life on what diseases it's going to end up with and what it's not.
Right.
So that's, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so what is ambiguous grief? Now that we've talked all about it. We experience ambiguous grief when we feel a loss for someone, even though they're still alive. It can also refer to the loss of anything significant in your life. Ambiguous grief doesn't necessarily have this sensation of finality that comes with physical death. With an actual death, there's a clear realization that the person is gone, even though it may take some time to process. Ambiguous grief can feel more like a state of purgatory or limbo, while your life is irrevocably changed. A resolution is still missing without a final goodbye. Thus, ambiguous grief can be more challenging because it's seemingly ongoing with no end in sight. Anybody want to give me an example of that? I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Misha?
Well, I mean, it's whenever everything happened, when you leave somebody, whenever, like what Body's saying, when you leave somebody, you're not just leaving that person, you're leaving your entire way of life. You are leaving everything that you knew, everyone that you knew, and you're not able to come back to it. Empty nesters, you know, whenever your children grow up and get out of the house. My biggest is like when Christina, when she was out in the world, I wouldn't talk to her forever. And so I constantly had that grief for her, but I couldn't, you know, I didn't know how to handle that because she was still alive.
Oh God, Cindy. See, and that's during COVID, and they didn't let people in. Y'all all know that there was an exemption of that, right? If they were on their deathbed, you could go in. Just letting everybody know that a little too late.
Really?
Yeah, there's an end of life exemption now that was put in place.
Wow, so many people went without ever knowing that.
Yep. I don't know how far into it, but I know that it got passed pretty quick because we had hospice patients and the directions were on there.
And that's a lot of people are going through as well, just life before and after COVID. You know?
That's something that I can grieve right now. I grieve my life before COVID.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's never going to be the same, especially now.
Yep.
Okay, so like yourself, understand. Okay, ambiguous grief. Here, but okay, let me go back up. No, because I did too. I actually learned some stuff on here looking this up. So ambiguous grief, it's when we feel a loss for someone, even though they're still alive. It can also be the loss of anything significant in your life. Um, just like Misha said, we had life before COVID and life after COVID, and we're grieving the life that we had before, and it's gone. But there's no actual finality to it because our life went on. So
World kept on spinning.
yeah, it's just like you're in limbo because you don't really have a final goodbye. It's more challenging. And then it asks, why do we grieve someone who is still alive? There are endless scenarios when it comes to ambiguous grief, like truly. Mental impairment. If when a loved one suffers a mental impairment, it can feel like you're experiencing a very slow and painful loss. It leaves you emotionally drained. A loved one with dementia, that's going to come up every time, and that's just the worst. While their humanity remains, the ability to recall people fade. As we slowly disappear from our loved one's memory, it can feel like a double death. They're still alive, however. The special relationship you shared is non existent.
Yeah.
And Misha, here's yours. Similarly, those loved ones with drug addictions become unrecognizable. Their brains become completely rewired, changing their personalities forever. Loved ones suffering from mental illness or traumatic brain injuries, though, through no fault of their own, may say or do hurtful things. Feelings of ambiguous grief are further amplified for those functioning as primary caregivers for loved ones experiencing cognitive impairments.
You know, my oldest daughter has actually been talking a lot to me about because I disassociate quite often. I didn't know this, but I did it a lot when they were children. I had no clue. But that right there, they blamed me for so long. They still do in so many ways, and I understand. But it's not something that we can do. It's not something that I chose to do because I thought I was there for them, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and so that understanding and that the guilt that goes along with that, and just the anger that they have towards me, if you can discuss it, we've come a long ways just because they're actually willing to discuss it with me and we talk to each other about it. But, there's still things that you're going to have in your mind and in your heart that you're not going to be able to come to a resolution with. Why
Right.
wasn't my mom there? Why did she go where she went,
Yeah.
Um, and it's hard. And it's just, I think the key is to appreciate the moments that we do have and discuss whenever we do have, because eventually there's going to be the day where we don't have a way to say anything at all to
Yeah.
somebody.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
I'm looking for something that she had sent me. Actually, it was mind changing. So I'm going to look for that for a second because I lose my
Okay.
files so bad.
So the the rift in relationship. Experiencing a fallout with a family member can feel like a loss. As time passes and the rift remains unresolved, ambiguous grief can intensify. After all, the relationship you once had is no more. The situation becomes more complex and challenging if there is a flat out refusal to communicate with any of the parties involved. That's another example. A breakup or a divorce or ending of a relationship. That's another example. Many questions are always left unanswered. Why did this happen? What did I do? How can we fix it? And then it's gone, and it can be extremely difficult to accept.
I think a lot
There's,
of us,
Mhm.
I think a lot of us experienced something similar to that fairly recently in different ways.
I think we're
These,
all here for a reason. I think we've all
yeah,
experienced this here for a reason. Like we're in one spot where we've all pretty much faced the same thing, right?
yeah.
A
And
best friend
being
disconnected.
ostracized, not being able to talk it out, that's hard.
Yes. Yes, it is. It's very hard. Having to stay quiet to be the
Yep.
bigger person.
Yeah.
We've all been through this in here, and I think all of us have, and we just keep on keeping on. We can do hard things, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the right thing.
Right. And even though our feelings are valid and that it's necessary to acknowledge what everybody has gone through.
And
And
we
it's just
need to
trying to
do
find
that
the
on
way to
a
do that.
private. I want to do
Yeah.
that on an actual Zoom meeting. I would love everybody here, if if y'all are interested in something like that, doing a Zoom meeting that we can actually just get on here, talk to each other, be seen, be heard, and process what we've all been through, because we can't do it on here.
No, and it's not fair in a lot of ways to do it publicly, but at the same time, we've got to do something, and so I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, because we can do Zoom, and
Yeah.
it don't go all over YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
See, do you distance yourself from new relationships, friendships due to these painful losses? Anyone?
That's a good question.
Wow.
I
Wow,
do
you
to
got
an
me, Bryce.
extent. Yeah. I do to an extent. I start thinking and seeing things that, I go all in and I'm all about love, but then whenever certain things start happening, then it's like I start seeing things that might not necessarily be what I'm seeing them as, and so I will distance myself, not on purpose, just to kind of understand more and see where it's coming from and be able to see it without seeing it
Bradley,
through
you're
hurt
just like
eyes.
me. Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
it's hard. It's so hard having
trust
that.
me with the bit of the empath thing. Yes, that gets me in more shit. Sorry, but it does. I get in more shit from that.
Oh yeah.
Being an empath, because I'm going to help everybody I can. And you
Except for
have givers,
ourselves.
except ourselves. I distance myself to process from us. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
it.
people get mad at you, and then they think, oh my gosh, what did I do to maybe it's not about you. Maybe it's about them.
Right.
To
The
put it
thing is
like that.
too, because whenever they're at you about it and they're like, "Why can't you just talk to me now? Why can't you just if you have to have it right now, then you're not gonna like the answers. Let me get to you whenever I'm able
Right.
to feel better because I don't wanna say something to hurt anybody. Myself, you,
Right.
I don't wanna say anything that is out of rash being said. So let me process." And then it's like a million and one things kept happening after the fact. And it's like, "Could y'all just stop? Could y'all just stop for 1 minute and just let the world just kind of
Yeah.
acclimate?"
Let the noise just
Yeah.
go away.
Because most of the time it's me. It is 100% me and just how I handle things,
But
so
that's your right to do that.
exactly.
So, it says in the breakup parts, so okay, Blake, you're not gullible. You're like me. You're an empath, and you got too good hearted.
Mm.
And we always get the bad end of the deal. But the way I look at it is, no, we really don't. We get the good end of the deal. We get to be that person. We get to be that
Yeah.
person that gives of ourselves unselfishly.
Yep.
And I'll never be sorry for that. So you're not gullible, Blake. You just have a caring heart.
We refuse to let the bad take us down.
We are human. Cody, if you listen to country music, like Cody Johnson says,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still learning to be human.
I love it.
Yeah. So,
So
but
much loss.
I know in the breakup though part of this, I would just caution everybody. There's a reason that you broke up, so do not hang on. Do not forget the reason that you experienced that breakup, because it may not be something you should go back into. Just my little 2 cents, you know, because it always says, oh, the reconciliation. Maybe you weren't meant to do that, so you might want to watch it just a little bit. I wanted to go back to what Oh Hell No said real quick. Okay, having suffered grief in both anticipatory and sudden, I can tell you that the sudden soul rendering grief of the sudden loss of an important part of your life to death is far worse, not belittling grief. And yes, I
I
understand.
personally I feel that way too. It's terrible.
Yeah. So, oh hell no, Misha. Definitely.
Yeah, because life's all good to go, and then all of a sudden, literally in the blink of an eye, your entire world shatters.
And and Andrea, when you share things with someone that you never say to anyone else, and then they're just gone.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. Yes. 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 My real dad, my my biological dad, my stepmom, my 10-year-old sister, gone in a blink of an eye. I want to go. There's T. Hang on, T. We'll drop you the link. I'm going to go back up to Katie's comment. Hang on, I'll find it. They created their perfect family, and I'm not worthy of it. I have to be happy and grateful if some crumbs of attention is given to me. And Katie, this is why I wanted to do this.
Hmm.
This is exactly why I wanted to do this.
Thank you, Body Illusion. You're so awesome.
What?
See, this is for you.
Nope.
Oh, Red already did it. See, I should have just leave my stuff alone. You can grab it from there. We have good people. They don't kind of kidnap my stream. Katie. So I definitely went through this very, very slowly for you because I did not want to tell you the wrong thing. And I am not an expert in grieving at all. And somebody hijacked my stream. Was it T? Where is T? I'm waiting for her. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the Katie. So Katie, separate the people. Okay, and I'm gonna try to say this correctly. Separate your feelings from the people. Is that I don't want to stumble over my words here. Okay. If you can take your feelings, don't think with that empath, emotional thinking. Think of the your head. Just use your head, not your heart. Even though that's very much easier said than done, but let's play pretend here. Okay. Take and separate that from the situation. Okay, thank you, Indigo. Thank you. I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say. I know it just won't come out right. You love them. They're your family. It's real. The love is real. You love them. Correct, Katie? I know that I'm not saying the opposite. I'm just saying you love them. That's how you truly feel about them. And you're willing. Oh, I'm so screwed up on this one. I'm trying to say it correctly and just don't come out right. No matter, even if I freaking wrote it down and I did and it didn't come out right. So what it is there's nothing in the present that you can change right now to change that situation, correct? Nothing. There's nothing you can do. So you're going to grieve that situation because love is real. Family is real. You want your family, you want your loved ones. You don't want to just be the crumbs pick the crumbs up off the floor. You should be at that table, seated with them, and being a part of that family, correct? And I am not trying to make you sadder. I just don't want to screw this up. Okay. Thank you, Katie. All right. So it's their behavior. And I'm fixing to get real quick to the point. It is, hey, above and beyond it. I'm just going to say it, and this is just pulling the Band-Aid and the scab off all at the same time. That is their issue. You cannot control what anyone else does. You can't. You have to use the let them theory. And I wore it just for you. Let them. I wore it just for you, Katie. You have to let them. because you cannot control what they do or decide to do or decide not to do. If something happens, and I know that you don't want to be the bad person. I mean, you don't want to be the person that's freaking sitting there just begging for the crumbs that fall off of a plate, but you're more worthy than that. You have more worth in yourself than what they're giving you and what you're giving yourself. So, Katie, I want you to understand that you can't control anything they do, act, say, anything. Feel. It's not even our business what they think about you or your business. But you know what is? It's the way that you respond to it. You teach people how to treat you by what you are willing to accept. And Katie, you're worth way more than you give yourself credit.
And our table, you're welcome at our table all the time. You belong here.
Absolutely. And it is not you. Right? I'm so glad Above and Beyond it came. And enough's enough. Oh my gosh, that's a good one too. Katie, listen to people here that love you for real. They really do. We don't want you picking up our crumbs. We want you at the head of the table. You don't have to be blood to be family. You don't have to be you don't even have to live in the same country. It's my chosen family. Okay, you're right. You do have to get better. And we're talking about on Sunday nights. Remember, on Sunday nights, we are doing the re-regulate. If you don't re-regulate your nervous system, you're not going to be able to even focus on it. But we see you and we hear you. But here's the one thing that you've got, Katie. You got insight. You already know this. You know that you have to get better to have a chance. So you're already taking that first step.
Yeah.
You've taken that first step. It is not your fault the way other people treat you or think about you. Only thing you can control is the way you respond to it. And the only way is to get re-regulated, because you cannot do any work to heal yourself unless you are getting re-regulated. Oh gosh, enough's enough. I'm so glad.
I agree. Enough is enough.
Thank y'all.
It's making a big difference.
I'm so glad. I'm glad it's not a waste of time. I was wondering if I was going to do it.
No, and the thing is, a lot of us feel, if not dead inside, at least something, some kind of hurt and some kind of pain. All of us are feeling, and we're coming together and we are rebuilding ourselves and getting ourselves healthier together. We're not having to do it by ourselves anymore, because every single person that's in here that I know, there's a couple of names that I don't recognize, but everybody that I know that's in there, I love y'all, and we're building a family that some of us never had a chance to have at all. Right. And from coming from the place where I've always wanted to have that, you guys, we're all growing in ways that I never expected. And I'm so glad to have all y'all at our table.
Absolutely. Like says at our table, I am helping serve. Any serving of love we can offer on this channel, I will help serve double portions. Yes. You only take a seat, Katie. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That is like so. Hello, my friend.
There's our gal.
Hello. Oh my gosh. My camera won't work.
My microphone didn't work, so
my camera
won't. StreamYard. Blame it on StreamYard.
I'm on YouTube as well. Hang on a minute. I can't hear myself.
Hang on. Okay.
I can.
Okay. Oh hell no. Oops. I have been dead inside since August. I wouldn't care if I died tomorrow. I just go on because I don't have any other choice. Okay. Oh hell no. I have just a little bit of piece of it, Boston. You don't have. I know you've gotten tons of it, and mine doesn't mean squat. But I will tell you this, coming from someone who lost her father. Well, both of them. The one that raised me and the one that created me. Cindy, listen. Don't give up. Don't give up, because they should have taken when they took my dad's life, they should have took my mom's, because half of her left with my dad. No one will ever meet the woman that raised me. ever, because she left when they took him. But guess what? She's still here, and she still takes it day by day. And Cindy, you can do the same thing. You've got a whole village here that loves you. Hell, you got me driving to your town.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
I can't even imagine what that's like. I mean, I had the love of my life, but only for 4.5 years. You know.
It's all right.
Yeah. I'm not very good at this sort of thing. I never know what to say. I just wanted to kind of
this
pop
is
on
a
and
hard. It's a hard one.
wanted to pop on and send my love and
You're
yeah,
supporting
it's
the world right here. Just being here. I appreciate that.
no worries. I can't get my camera to work. I think it's StreamYard, I think.
It was fun.
I
It is
blame
StreamYard.
StreamYard.
Yeah. Oh hell no, it was fun. I had a blast with y'all. Just so you know that I will never forget that. That is like I had
That's so nice of you to do that.
I had so much fun.
Oh. Hey Indigo,
You
how
were
you going?
Zoom.
Hello everyone. Sorry,
Yeah,
everyone's
T?
saying hello. Yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Did you link your channel, T?
Oh no, it's all right. Well, I actually thought I was supposed to go to work, and then it turned out I don't. But I've been wrestling with Jake and trying to get him to go to holiday care so I can have a day, but he won't go, so I just gave up.
Oh.
Oh dear.
And Sin, you do your YouTube, and you know what? I might not catch it like right when you're doing it, but I always watch it on the replay.
Yeah, me too.
So I mean, it does like there's a lot of people that do, and you're
Yeah.
funny, and you're just look. One day you will tell your story of how you overcame what you went through, and will be someone else's survival guide. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. So with Katie and oh hell no, I knew that this was going to be like at the very top of. Okay, hang on, Blossom. I'm back for a few. Spent $30 at a 90% off Christmas sale.
Cars
Oh
packed.
my Lord. Yes. Yes. Oh hell
No,
it's
that's
still one
good
breath
that
at a
you're.
time for me. Okay, so that's good. You know why? Because when my family died, my dad and everybody, my mom, when my mom, I was trying to get her through all this, and it was breath by breath. And that's right. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Breath by breath. And then you'll realize it's minute by minute, and then an hour by an hour, and then 2 by 2. And then you're actually going to go a day by day. But there is no time limit on that. You're grieving that was half of you. So you're grieving more than one thing, and I'm glad that enough stuff said. Did vision boards with my adult girls today. It was awesome. I have some wings on there to remember to fly and exhale. Oh my God, I love that.
Oh, I love it.
I really love that.
Yeah.
And from people in general, it's so painful when someone uses things they've done for you to hurt you before walking away. I just don't feel like I can ask for help anymore. Okay, so I'm going to be the one to preach on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all better. Yeah. Hey, Aria. Okay, so here's the deal with this. Not asking for help is not a good thing. It took a lot for me to do it, but I did it. When I couldn't use my arm and I had all that going on, it took everything I had to ask for help, but I started asking for help because otherwise I wasn't going to get any better. I was hurting myself not asking for help. But you know what? Oh, hell no. Here's part of the problem. Yeah. The incident was so traumatic, having to give him CPR. I'm not sleeping well due to flashbacks, the vision I lost all of him. Probably PTSD, allegedly, in my opinion. I'm not dying.
I had the same. I had the same when Adam passed. I would see his accident over and over again. I'd feel it. So he I don't know if it's appropriate for me to talk about it. I don't know, but he died in a motorcycle accident, but I could feel his happiness before it happened, and then everything kind of goes black. And I felt that for probably, I don't know, 4 to 6 months. And then I started having therapy. I don't know if you're going to any therapy, Sin. It
Yeah,
really, really
Sin, are
helped
you
me.
going to therapy? Because you really could benefit from that. And I'm not telling you, oh, you got to go to therapy. I'm just saying
Mm,
that there's a lot of grief, and you don't even have to leave your house. You can do it online.
yeah. But I threw
Eh,
myself into work as well. You know, I was avoiding it by
Yeah.
making myself busy, which, you know,
Oh
that
hell
worked
no,
for
I didn't. Yeah. Oh
that
hell no,
worked
I
for
didn't know
2
if you know
years.
that Skylight went through the same thing. The same
Gosh.
thing on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Mine wasn't
wow.
Thanksgiving, but I had to do that with my mama too. And I
See,
helped train, certify people to do
Oh my
CPR.
gosh.
here's the deal, y'all all did that, but guess what? You hold on to it. And I'm not telling you how to deal with your own trauma. I mean, I'm not trying to, I just want to say maybe a different perspective is that the last thing you did on this earth was try to save a life. And it was just happened to be
Yeah.
your either your parent or your partner's life. That was the last act they saw you doing. What pride they must have of you. What pride they must have of you. Because I truly believe they can see, they see after
Mhm.
what pride they must have knowing their daughter or their wife was the last thing that tried to keep them here, tried to keep them alive. I wouldn't necessarily, it is traumatic, but I would not necessarily make it a bad thing because they saw you trying to help them and how proud they must be.
Yeah.
Brazzy girl like that.
Something that it took me a long time to realize, and I still have trouble with it. Um, I was horrible after I lost my mama for a long, long time. Like my entire life trajectory was totally different from what it would have been. Um, and she wouldn't have wanted me to live like that because she's no longer here does not mean that I need to not live either. I have
Right.
things that I need to do. I have love to give. I have goals, things that she had for me, things that I need to do that if I am just stuck in my grief with Christina, I couldn't fight for people. I wouldn't be able to do that if I can't do that if I
You
stay in my
can't stay in your grief. Yeah, you can't stay in your grief. I mean, I'm not saying that to everybody because obviously, but you just can't get stuck in your grief. Katie, oh hell no. I see grief like a storm. At some moment you're in the middle of it. Take your breath. The waves are heavy, but with time the storm will become smaller and you will learn to live with it. I like that. Indigo, T, yeah, see, everybody's saying the same thing. You've tried the online counseling. Okay, so if you're isolating, you've got insights, you recognize it. Now I can breathe a little bit, you know. You're right, you've recognized it. So now, Sin, time to do better, time to do better, time to do better. You're going to get out of that house. Don't make me drive to Austin again. Not in this weather, it's too
I
cold.
want to come.
It's too cold.
but also give
Thank
yourself
you,
grace
Marie.
also because I mean it's still very new, the life changing experiences.
Yeah.
And
See,
so give
it's a
yourself the
grief.
grace.
Yeah. I I agree with that. And then what did Andrew says, I don't feel disappointed by giving. I feel hurt when people take what they've done and throw it in my face. I would honestly be alone than feel like that ever again, but alone is also very painful. Yes. And unfortunately, God, I don't know. I know what I'm going to say on here is going to be sound so cold and callous, but it's just because of life experience and just because I know what's going to happen is going to happen, And it's like, do you try this? Do you try that? I'm going to stick with the devil I know. I mean, that's me. I'm not, but that's my jaded self because of what our life has thrown. It's not something that I would want for anyone because we only get one life. We need to live it. I've been looking for community art classes or something that means I have to go and be with people. I just haven't been able to find anything.
That's a
Yes,
really good idea, and you sound very self-aware, for thinking like that.
Okay, so I was going out there in the starred comments, and I wasn't in the starred comments. Sorry, Bradley girl, thank you for the 5 mental health memberships.
Look at all those advocates.
Advocates, thank you so much. That's so much appreciated. You have
Rosie, you're awesome.
T, thank you.
T.
Is my mic working? Oh, it is. Yeah, I didn't think my
Sounds
mic
good.
was working there.
Thank you
I just
so
wanted
much.
to say, that's all good. Cindy seems to be very self-aware.
Yes, she's got awareness, and that's good.
That's really good. I wasn't, and yeah, I was a bloody
Okay.
mess.
I'm sorry, I'm dried out. It's so wet outside and storming, and I'm trying to keep my hands and my freaking lips dry. Okay, so I'm gonna get through this one part, and then so, and it says when we were talking about the love is real. Nothing in the present will change that. While their behavior, this was Katie too, while their behavior or words may be difficult to bear in the present, the good times of the past are written in history. I liked that. You'll always have your cherished memories. Nothing in the present will take them away from you. So the love is real. Remember that. That is ironic. Okay, so separate the person from the illness. That's the one, the illness is not your loved one. As bad as you want someone to be the same person you knew, it isn't in your loved one's control. It's not in your control. So you have to just let them. If they treat you differently from what you're used to, just remember it isn't personal. Whether it's dementia, mental illness, brain trauma, or even addiction, your loved one's mind is different. Understanding their specific affliction can help you clearly separate your loved one from their struggles and possibly any negative feelings you may have towards their illness. So I really like the way they do this, separate the person from the illness, because Misha is right there that's her daughter, but there's the illness. Hey, Rick, how are you? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. So, Misha, does that help any about the separated?
It does, and especially because I can see it from different ends, and I mean, I've been there in both ways too. I've actually got something I would kind of like to read,
Please,
if you don't mind. I've got a couple things I want to read, but this one, this is something that I was going through whenever this was 3 years ago today, back in April. Listen to my words. Consider a moment the heartbreak. Imagine the conviction, the guilt, the failure of self as a parent unable to rescue our daughter. And then go out and hug your babies, whether grown or still little. You only get one life to live with them, one chance to make the differences that only you can give. It is our job as parents to give our children everything they need to become successful adults. Don't do like me. Don't forget it is a job more than a comfort. I'm sorry, baby girls. I've never not loved each more than life. I just wish I would have known what it takes more than love to be a good parent. And that's because I had posted, is there anybody in Louisiana area who can help me regarding mental health, addiction, homelessness, and several other issues regarding adult children and their mom 500 plus miles away, totally feeling helpless. I have no idea what to do. Basically just talking about how she was so far away and I couldn't do anything to help her. And in my worries about me and what was going on with me, didn't focus on what really mattered. And what really mattered is the fact that I've got baby girl sitting behind me and she's getting ready to go out again for the evening. We have to appreciate the time that we have, because otherwise we're going to end up like this, which is it's all shown on the screen. This is where I'm at, and this is what my daughter, my oldest one, is. She's talking to me about it.
Yeah.
She didn't want to leave the house anymore. Not even for the littlest thing. She felt exposed. She just couldn't bring herself to participate within humanity at the minute. She'd been feeling like this more and more. She just sat at home alone. That's where she felt content. That's where she felt in control. That's where she felt safe. She couldn't be judged in her front room. No one could hurt her there. She could cry if she wanted to. She could dramatically release 1,000 tears and nobody would know. She could feel freely. She was very courageous. My God, she was the epitome of strong. And you know, the weirdest part is she never knew it. She never once acknowledged how much of an inspiration she was to those who surrounded her. She just couldn't see it. Honestly, she felt completely and utterly worthless, useless, and meaningless. So how could I begin to tell her that I really needed her to try and get past this, that she had to share herself with this godforsaken world, that it needed her, that I loved her so much that I couldn't even begin to picture my life without her, that if her light was ever to leave this world, I would forever live in darkness. And yet I stay at home. That's ambiguous grief in itself. You know?
It is.
Just working through that and showing that we love each other, but sometimes in our love, we hurt each other.
Yeah.
Escape those in the moments and start appreciating in the moment.
I'm fixing to write that book down that Boston just finished. Where did you go?
So with that, I'm gonna actually hop off.
You don't have to.
Well, I'll probably come back.
Motherless daughters. Okay.
I will probably come back, but I got my kids getting ready to leave, and so I want to talk with her before she goes. So I love you guys. Hopefully, I'll be able to come back, and if not,
Love
I love
you.
you guys.
Okay.
Mwah. I don't know if my mic's working.
I've got it written down for sure. Okay, so let me get back over here so I can.
I don't think my mic's working. Sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it keeps going on and off.
Let me see, Katie. I want to see something here. I will never love again by choice, not at this level for sure. And I sadly exhausted the help available here. I don't even see my doctor by his choice. How can I have hope? So, okay, so I'm going to tell you how you can have hope. Never take no for your final answer, Katie. There is somebody somewhere that will say yes. Don't stop with no. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's always one more place you can call. There's always one more place. There's always something. It's never the end of the line. Never. So what we need to do is I need you to email me, and I'm going to give you my phone number and all that good stuff. And we're going to work on that, because there's always a yes around the next corner somewhere. We might not can find it right then, but we will find it. And if you don't know me by now, you know I'm not giving up. So that'll be like my freaking mission impossible. You're going to know that there's connection and there's help, and you have a chosen family here, Katie. I want you to know that. I want you to feel that. And you are your strongest advocate. Always. That's not a burden, sweet. No, it's not a burden.
No, you're not a burden, and I can vouch for Keela.
Please.
She's been there for me. She's been a massive help when I thought I had no one. You know, I've been isolating, and Keela's always been there for me, along with others. You know, so don't be afraid. Don't think that you're a burden at all. Absolutely not. That's what we're all here for.
Thank you, T. Yes, that's the last thing you are. I mean, that's not it's not even on the category.
Yeah, it's not even on your radar.
Yeah, not at all. Yes, you do, Andrea. You can email, if somebody will post the email. You can email me on the on this channel, and then you can email me, and I will get right back to you. And if I don't get right back to you, I will give you my phone number to call. I just don't want to put it out there. I guess probably everybody's got it, but I don't want to put it out there.
Hey, Indigo.
Hey,
Hi.
Indigo. Okay, so let me get, yes, Katie, you're not alone, and trust me, you haven't exhausted everything, because you got to look under rocks that you hadn't looked under yet. And
A
you
lot
never
of us
accept
here are,
no.
have had to fight for ourselves
Yeah.
and for people that we care about. So if you guys are in the chat and we say it, and not every stream, but every stream I'm on, I'll keep saying it. We see you, and when you're not here, we see you.
That's absolutely the truth.
I reached out to Keela and Blake a while ago, and it took a minute. I will be honest, it took a minute for Keela to trust me. I reached out at a time when she was really hurting, and she didn't really know who I was. But everybody has the chance to make their life better. And the fact that you're able to reach out for help and tell us how you feel means that you're taking yourself seriously.
Self-care.
Yeah.
And I do want to say this, when we leave this right here, I want everybody, please, 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 if you hear anything I have to say, hear this. When you leave, when we sign off, and I say end stream, go to the Facebook group. That's where we continue these conversations. There's chats for everything. You have the main feed, but you can go to the Facebook group, and these conversations continue, and they have their own specific chats. If you find something that you need to discuss and you don't have a chat, let me know. I will open it up. I mean, we've got categories, subcategories, and it's for people to be able to talks among and peer support people that you have something in common with. Like if it's anxiety, grief, bipolar, I mean, whatever the case, ADHD, whatever it may be, you're around people that actually, you left a chat there and feel unsure about going back. Andrew, let me know when you email me, and we can take care of that and find out what's going on. I don't ever want anyone to feel unsure in anywhere.
Yeah, I think too there was but when I first started helping with the Facebook group, there was a lot of chats I started that ended up getting combined. Like there was already a chat for it, but I made a separate one. So we kind of went through and cleaned out some of those chats. So it could just be that a chat we created got uncreated as well. So hopefully we can kind of point you in the right direction if you have any questions about where to go or what you want to talk about.
Yeah, and then you also can just go in the main and post, and people will comment on the main post. But I think this is so neat to me on our Facebook page, because our Facebook group actually does use the chats more than the mainstream.
Yeah, and I think emails are always open too. Obviously, we've all been burned in one way or another by sharing our emails in chats. But like if you go to my channel and just click "You're not a robot," you should be able to access my email. So if you want to reach out to me, or if you reach out to Keela, she can just give you my email if you ever want to talk. Because I think that's the biggest thing is and
I'm on Messenger. Everybody can get me
is
on
feeling
Messenger.
alone, right? That's the biggest thing. Grief makes you feel alone because society kind of stopped embracing, like in Greek culture, like ancient Greece, they used to like dress up in their best clothes and have a day where people could grieve and like actually physically show how they felt among their family and friends. And it wasn't like a funeral. It was like, you could just go out in the public square and scream and tear at your hair, and people would be like, okay, yeah, grieving. And I think that's the thing with grief is you feel so alone.
Yeah, see, on here, the thing but grieving a person that is not gone yet it has so many lanes. That's why I ask about it. There's so many different, that's why I wanted to, but okay, so we did to separate the person from the illness. There's also find new meaning. Out of the love you bear for your loved one, you can still honor their changed behavior by showing up with love, kindness, and acceptance. Why you've been tasked with this difficult situation is irrelevant. And I mean, I'm not trying, this is just point blank facts. It's irrelevant. It's here, it's in front of you. You can choose how to respond from it. And leaning into love and discovering new meaning in your altered relationship can bring a welcome calm to your suffering. Now, that doesn't work for everybody. That's on the great end of it, and everything's in a perfect world. And I know that it's not. But but there's the hope right there that they don't leave you hopeless. You know, it's not all hopeless. And I really like these. Clean up your side of the street. When a major rift has occurred, you may feel powerless to bring about change. I think we've all been there. If the person is still alive, you can remedy the rift by taking responsibility for anything on your side. Even if you feel you've done nothing wrong, letting your loved one hear that you wish for peace between you two may be the olive branch needed. Of course, some things are not good. Some things are unique and complex. Some things are easy, but it's still the possibility.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is, when you work on yourself and you change, sometimes a rift happens because the person who's alive, or like, especially if it's a terminal illness or like dementia or something, it's like you could grow and change, but maybe that person didn't, right? Because even if it's not an illness, like I've grieved the loss of living friends where I just focused on me
That
and
relationship.
change, you know, and they wanted to stay at a place where I had grown away from. And I think it's hard for empaths and people who truly love and care about someone. It's hard for me, I'll speak 100% for myself here, to let go, you know, like if something's not working anymore, because I really want to fix it. I'm a fixer.
You are
cleaning up my side of the street is, I have to understand that the only person I can really quote fix is me. Right? Like I can't make somebody want to change, and they shouldn't change for anyone else but themselves. And I think that's also hard to grieve a loss as well for people who are still alive.
Yeah. That's true. No, I mean, that's it. I mean, that was that. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about that. Be gentle with yourself. Ambiguous grief can be overwhelming and exhausting. It's important to be easy on yourself and take it one step at a time. Know that your feelings of loss are perfectly, I don't like the word normal, but valid. While no magic pill can make it disappear, facing your ambiguous grief can bring comfort and solace. Honor your feelings, take care of yourself, and keep hope alive. That's the thing to this whole thing is hope, 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 hope.
Yeah.
Even when it feels like there's no hope, tomorrow's gonna be a new day and the sun's gonna rise. And it doesn't feel like that at the moment.
From what I understand of, for me at least, saying goodbye to my birth mom before she died was really important to me. Mm-hmm. But the memories that I have of her are still before the illness took over, like before the cancer went to her brain. And I know that it can be really traumatic to be the person who someone dies in your arms, right? Because you tried everything you could to keep them here. But remember, you have a store of memories, and it's hard to go back to them because you feel it's so heavy. But the things that bring you joy, like how did you meet that person? Like sometimes people say, I lost somebody, and I say, well, what do they look like? Like what color were their eyes? How did you meet? What was something fun you did together? Because those are the memories that, encapsulate who they were to you. And if you can
yeah, that's a really I never even thought of it like that, Indigo, and I totally I could have done with that, when I was grieving, because the guy I was grieving was a complete asshole, So every well, no,
Yeah.
no, he was terrible, and none of my family were there for me. I was completely alone, apart from his meth head sister, who was just, she didn't really care. She hadn't had a relationship with him, so yeah, just even being asked those small questions, I can imagine that would help people so much. Just someone to, just be there and listen. Makes such a difference.
Mhm.
And we don't
Yeah,
have
so
to fix everything for our friends. Like people that are coming and want to talk and they call and they just want to talk. We don't have to fix them. We don't have,
Yeah,
they're
and what
not
I
asking
can
us to
say is
fix the
like
situation. They
grief.
just want to be heard.
it's not necessarily something that needs fixed. It's just I mean,
You just want
I
to be heard.
for me, it's like a roller coaster ride.
Mhm.
You have some days you think, oh, okay, I'm okay now, and then you get hit again with another
That's grief.
dip.
Anything
Yeah.
can remind you. I mean, the two things that they've studied um, is so interesting. So in Scandinavia, they have these dementia villages where they're set up like a small town, and of course, like all the nurses are there caring for the dementia patients, but they can like go to the store and
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
the park, and like their family can come visit them, and there's not like a you have to be gone by 9 p.m. like curfew
Right.
rule on the visitation. And they were saying like while that doesn't stop the degradation, it does give a semblance of memory back. And they've noticed that like smells and sound are hugely linked to memory. I mean, cologne, like I know someone who can't use a cologne because it reminds them of their dad. I mean, it was their dad's cologne, but like it was given to them after he passed and they don't use it. They just keep it on a shelf
Yeah.
with his picture because they're like, I can't trigger that memory right now, right? Like I can't remember
Yeah.
him right now. It hurts too much. But it's just interesting. It's like we're so worried about forgetting them, I think. I think that's the part of grief and loss that you're worried about. And it's hard when that person's still alive to like see them lose their memory or touch with reality.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch over to something. I'm going to go to the start questions in just a minute, guys. But I want to switch over to a different kind
I
of
love
grief.
you guys so much.
Codependent grieving.
Love you too.
And growth is never linear. It's ups and downs. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But codependent grieving, does anyone know what that is?
Is it like if that's all you share with someone is the grief and there's like nothing outside of that? Because codependency usually means you're like dependent upon somebody for something, but
No, you're good. You're getting there. Codependent grieving, when someone is still alive, refers to experiencing intense, often debilitating grief for a person who is living, but where the relationship dynamics were so codependent that their perceived loss feels like a death, even though they are physically present. So they're so codependent that even moving them apart and that you have that loss, they're going to grieve.
I wonder.
It's like a
Yeah. I wonder if that's what happened with Jake's dad, because I said, because I found out he was cheating on me as well, and I remember after he passed, she was there when he passed. She held his body and waited for the ambulance and stuff. And yeah, I said to her, I said, I feel like I've already grieved him. Like he abandoned us, and every day kind of I had this tiny baby, and watching him do all these milestones and just doing it all on my own, having no one to share it with. And every time he did something, I would just lose it. I'd burst into tears. So would that be like codependent grieving? I don't know, because he wasn't there, and then he died.
No, you actually had a compound grieving. That's what you had to eat. It was compounded.
Yeah, right.
Because codependent, he would. Okay, so yeah, like best friends that move apart. Perfect. There you go. Like that. That's literally kind of what I'm talking about. It's like, okay, so that is an area, but let me get to the real opposite end of codependency, which is what,
Yeah.
this is what my field always says.
Yeah.
Unrealistic expectations. These are key points about codependent grieving with someone still alive. In a codependent relationship, one person often bases their whole sense of self-worth off on the other, leading to an unhealthy dependence and the expectation that that other person will always be there in a certain way, which can cause intense grief when that dynamic shifts. That is codependent in a nutshell. That's also got a
It
few
can
of the
happen
points for
too if
borderline personality disorder, and it also has a few points on a few other things in here that I'm looking at. Unrealistic expectations.
I would say an example is like if you've got a parent and they've made one of their kids the golden child and they heap all of their like praise and like they view this child's success as an extension of themselves, right?
Right.
It'd be that kind of codependent dynamic then if the child, I guess in this scenario, like if the child fell ill, the codependent parent might have a really difficult time going through that process because now they're like losing out on another vision of themselves a little bit.
And so guess what that starts? A bonus question time. With the scenario that you just explained, that you just said, Indigo, I want to see if anybody can get exactly what is caused by what you just said.
I don't know.
I'm making y'all think tonight, huh?
You are, yeah.
Well, I can't be the only one up here with answers. Somebody's got to. That scenario that Indigo just said, it actually is what. Well, yeah, definitely got to be the narcissist. Absolutely, Katie. But it turns into another illness. It can turn into another illness because the attention is better and better and better on the codependency on that. How about Munchausen by proxy?
Oh yeah, the one where like the parent
So
invents
now that you
illnesses.
keep the child sick, and
Yeah.
there's where it starts. You've let that person down so much that now, oh, I can get more attention with this. It's just a freaking snowball bound for hell.
Would that include Munchausen? Sorry to interrupt. Would that include somebody who has an autistic child and kind of infantiles? Oh my god!
Infantile, yes.
Yeah, infantiles them like.
Yeah.
Is that Munchausen? Kind of borderline, maybe. I don't know. It's a tricky one because
I would have to look that one up. And Blake, inability to accept rather than to expect. I'm going to say, in the words of my dear Dylan Blowdrill, acceptance over expectations. Meet people where they're at.
Yeah.
That's the thing with grief is like just holding the space, like because the thing that's the worst about grief is you can't fix it.
No, you can't do anything
like
for
if
anybody.
your friend breaks their leg, you could take them to the doctor, put a cast on it. They could go through physical therapy. They could get their leg back. But like when someone passes, especially if it's sudden.
Yes, Andrea, it is. Yeah, Dylan is great. I agree. I miss him. He's supposed to be on here.
Unhappen, right? So what I found was the most healing was when people would ask me if I was okay, and I'm like, no. Not expecting advice or anything, just no, I'm not okay. I'm
not okay. And it's okay.
Let me not be okay. But
that's right.
If if you want me to come to your party, I'll come, but I'm not okay.
That's it. That's the truth too. Okay.
I think it's important. I think it's important to say when you're not okay, you know. I do it at the checkout.
Okay, so
Yeah,
let me
because
get to
they'll
this.
do small talk while they're like scanning your orange. They'll be like, "Are you
The
okay?" It's like, "Nah, man."
This is why I
Okay,
said I'm not good at this sort of thing, because I just try and make people laugh, I guess. That's my
No, it's
natural go-to.
okay. It's okay.
No, it's
Um,
okay.
I'm not
feeling,
very good.
I mean, sometimes you have to because, like,
feeling of
so
feeling
much.
of powerlessness. The codependent individual might feel powerless to change the situation with their loved one, leading to a sense of helplessness and despair, similar to grieving a loss. There you go. Learned helplessness. Couldn't even get it out fast enough. Man, y'all are actually awesome at this.
It's like we
Your
all have
sister-
experiences with this stuff or
Yes.
something.
Okay. Are people with Munchausen also narcissistic? Absolutely. I'm going to say have to be. My sister is Asperger. My mother took care of her so much that I didn't exist anymore. I was a big girl, able to do anything. So she is the golden child, and I'm the deception. Oh, honey, you're not the deception. Let me tell you something. You're worth way more than that.
I've been thinking about this a lot because I was premature. And my sister was 8 years older than me. And now that we're both in therapy, we kind of talk more about the differences in our childhoods. And I kind of wonder if
I feel it.
there's not an easy way to balance attention if you have a healthy kid and then you have a sick kid. And I just kind of wonder if that breeds kind of a feeling of loss or potential breakdown of like a parent-child relationship.
No, I'm sure
I
that
don't think
absolutely
people
does.
don't give kids enough credit. Like, kids are more intuitive than people give them credit for. And
I listen to any kid before I listen to an adult. The kids
yeah,
don't
and I just
lie.
wish people gave kids more space to authentically feel, because I think especially if you're neurodivergent, having to bottle things up does more harm than good. Yeah,
I'm getting this answer really quick. Fictitious disorder.
That's what they're calling it now.
Narcissistic personality disorder can be likened to Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Oh, we're gonna have to get in this one to a bit on a different date because I got
I
a whole
think
bunch.
they're trying to change the terminology to fictitious disorder from Munchausen's.
Yes,
Because I've noticed them using that more often
and it's always narcissistic
research.
mother, narcissistic mother, narcissistic mother. So yes, yes, I'm gonna say yes
and there's
on that.
situations where
We gotta do it.
there's
I gotta do a live on this one. I gotta write this
yeah,
down.
it's a whole other topic for sure.
Yeah,
But the difference is you're causing
Yeah,
an actual
Mary.
physical illness, you know?
you're causing
I
that.
guess.
Yes, I feel it's. I've described a
Yeah.
relationship ending as same as bigger than a divorce without any social. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
because people,
Yeah, it can be, yeah.
I think
okay.
people
So there's
underestimate.
also the difficulty letting go. Because of the intense emotional attachment, letting go of the old relationship can be extremely difficult, even if it's unhealthy or destructive. How many of us have done that? I mean, we're all guilty of that.
Yep.
You know?
Raising both hands.
Yes.
Bingo.
I got my feet in the air as well.
Bingo card.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing I've noticed about myself is I'm a giver to a bad extent. So like over the
I went
last
down that
few
road.
years, I've been trying to,
Enough's enough. That is absolutely correct. And I can go into very big detail about that.
but like I think that's the thing with loss is society has put they've tried to define things in such a black and white way. And I think so for example, I have a friend I've known since I was in first grade.
Okay? You're a recovering fixer.
Same.
Recovering fixer. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I don't try to
Oh my
DIY
God,
my
that's
friends
so
anymore.
good.
You know, I'm just kind of like, okay, tell me what you need. Do you need advice? Do you need me to listen? Or do you need me to commiserate? Those are like my three
Oh wait,
categories.
Andrea, hang on. I'll try to get my guts to send an email. I doubt anyone else can hear it. I don't hear anything, honey. I'm sorry. No, wait, I actually do hear it. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't hear it anymore. But I did hear it. Please, Andrew, I want to talk to you. Please, if you feel comfortable enough, just send me an email. Okay? Just send me an email. Please.
Oh no, it was my fault. I'm so sorry. I forgot to mute. I have the chat open on a different tab. I forgot to mute
Well,
it.
that would be why.
Sorry,
My
guys.
ears are buzzing.
Indigo.
It was my fault.
Smack body.
I know because I still hear it in my. It's indigo. Yeah, it's like a whistle. I'm hearing it too. It's in my ears. It stopped now. It's not there. Oh my God. It's gone.
I'm so
I don't
annoyed.
know who
Are
it
you
is.
still on StreamYard, Keela? Like, I'm so annoyed with StreamYard not doing
I'm
its
so
thing.
yeah, it's got to be
You
indigo
pay so much
because
money.
when she unmutes herself, it comes back.
All of my stuff's turned off. Muted, rather.
I'm so tired of StreamYard, but they just took my payment out again, so I guess I'm stuck with them.
Oh, I know, right?
Okay, so ambiguous loss. Okay, we've already done it. Let's see. The term was coined. I know it got my ears too. I didn't realize it. I was wondering why I was getting antsy. But okay, the term coined by Dr. Pauline Boss describes the confusion and grief that arises when someone is physically present. So they can be physically present, but emotionally unavailable. How many girls can raise your hand on that one? Due to a significant change like addiction or severe mental illness or whatever the case may be. How many of us have always said they're emotionally unavailable?
I'm definitely emotionally unavailable for sure.
I mean, it's just that it is what it is. You know, I
Yeah.
know read too, raising my hand. Yeah.
I'm looking at doing Restream. It looks way easier. I've used it, but
I gotta
not with a
learn how to use
guest.
it.
So I have to try it out with a guest.
Yeah, I gotta learn how to use it. I know. I just think you have to stick with StreamYard. Yes, I do.
You
like
can record.
StreamYard.
You can record on Restream, I think.
Yeah, you can record on Restream and also Riverside, which is the one I'm trying out right now.
Riverside. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. Yeah.
I'm gonna put that down now. I have what has anybody looked at Streamlabs? Because I have that, but it's hard to do.
I can't remember. I've looked at so many. OBS is a nope. Unless anyone wants to do a tutorial with me, yeah, I don't get that.
I know Misha's working on trying to do tutorials for OBS.
Oh, really?
Small amounts of being social at a time. It's exhausting. Can I just tell you that that's being an empath like that. I walk in and I can walk into okay, Andra, I'm sorry. Just email me, please. I think it's the Indigo's feedback, but there's nothing. She's done everything to do. But yes, please email me, and then we probably could talk a little bit more. People in is not for me right now. So I'm almost through with this part, and then I'm going to get to the starred questions since it's okay. So examples of situations where codependent grieving might occur. A partner struggling with severe addiction where the other person feels like they've lost their loved one to the substance. A child whose parent has a debilitating mental illness that significantly impacts their ability to parent effectively. And that is, that's something that codependent for sure. So what to do if you're experiencing codependent grief? Seek therapy. It's crucial. Crucial. Therapy can be crucial to understand the dynamics of your relationship, develop coping mechanisms, and learn healthier ways to manage your emotions. It might put more tools in your toolbox to use in this thing called life. Set boundaries.
Yeah.
Establish
important.
healthy boundaries with the person you are grieving, even if they are still alive, to protect your own emotional well-being.
That's really important. Also, is
Yes.
that better?
Yes, that's a lot better. Thank you.
It StreamYard changed
It's
it from
StreamYard.
from this one to my camera microphone, and I'm like, why? I'm clearly using a headset. But I wanted to touch on what you just said actually with the what was the last thing you just said with the group
Setting the boundaries to protect your own emotional well-being.
Yes, that's extremely important, and I'm gonna bring the other part of the movement back in here. When you're doing social justice or fighting
Yeah.
for yourself or whatever, you have to put up boundaries to keep yourself straight,
Safe. Safe. Yeah.
safe. Yeah, safe. And it's okay if that boundary is, I don't want to talk to a certain person, or I don't want to go out when a lot of us don't
Mhm.
protest when it's cold out because the cold hurts. Like, so just
Yeah.
remember to like let people that you trust know what your boundaries are, because sometimes, especially as empaths, if we get overwhelmed, sometimes we take what should be a hard boundary and we soften it. But as long as you have someone in your corner saying, no, this is what you said your boundary is, it can really help kind of
Right.
get through that grieving process.
Yeah, and that's true. That is so true. So focus on self-care. Prioritize activities that support your emotional and physical health, like exercise, mindfulness practices, and spending time with supportive people. We spend time on here, but some know what buttons to push, even with the boundaries, and breaks them down again. Body illusion, you're right.
Yes, and I think
It's about safety in a situation, though, that comes first.
is it okay if I say something bluntly? Because I don't.
I'm not if it's personal.
No. It just based on what she was saying is
I know. So I'm saying not if it's personal about her.
no.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So for example, there's situations happening in the community right now. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh yeah.
If somebody knows how to push a button and they're doing it on purpose, that is a them issue. It's
But
not a
not if that
reflection
person is.
on yourself. You're not
Mm.
doing anything to deserve them doing that. I just wanted to say that because
It's
Absolutely.
not always
Yeah.
that easy, because some people have no choice, and their safety is first.
yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It is, but your safety is first and foremost, no
Yeah.
matter what.
And it's along those lines as we say as mods for Keela, like we'll embrace anyone who wants to come in this chat. But the thing is, like, be as kind as you can, because you never know what someone's going through. You know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
people come in our chats all the time and say, like,
Nico.
I didn't know other people were going through this. I don't feel alone anymore. Right. And that's the important part of what we do here. And everybody deserves the chance to feel support without conditions.
Absolutely. Speaking on that right there. Okay, focus on self-care. Prioritize activities that support your emotional and physical health, like exercise, mindfulness, and spending time with supportive people. I want to rephrase that again, because people here, we support each other, and when one of us are down, all we have to do is pick up. I mean, we don't have to pick up the phone, like literally just look at our freaking messenger list and just hit dial, because that's, hey, living my best life. How are you?
Yeah.
So glad you're here.
Or like Keela knows if she doesn't answer at least one of us, someone's calling her.
Good Lord God, I don't ever.
Are you
Nick,
okay?
I'm so glad
No
you're here.
response. Are you okay? Okay, I'm calling now. I'll give
Yeah,
you
now
2
then I get
texts,
calls.
and then you get calls.
I'm like, I'm sleeping.
For some people, oh, well, good. You should.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
good.
like, it's
And
funny.
how long have you been up for now, Keela?
I slept till
Have you had some
I had to
sleep?
sleep. I can't walk. So I had no choice but
You
to sleep
can't
last night.
walk?
And then all day today.
Oh my
Did I
God.
send you the pictures?
No,
My
I haven't
wheelchair?
spoken to you for a while. I've just had a bit of a, I don't know, I've had a bit of a mentally health
I thought I
week
sent them.
myself.
I don't know why. Oh my gosh, it's so bad too. Okay.
I've been
Just,
hiding.
I know you have, but I know you would come back.
Yeah.
Well,
Can't
that's the
keep.
thing
We've
too.
been having
Is
some really late nights
I
as
think
well. Yeah,
some of
really
us
late nights.
care a lot, and I'm trying to learn how to balance reaching out to people out of caring and then like
No, I appreciate everybody that checks on
Yeah.
me. Y'all have no idea.
hopefully people don't feel harassed because that's not my intention. I just care so
No,
much.
I
and
know
then
that you care,
if
and
I'm
I
like worried
appreciate
about you
everything.
and you don't respond, my brain doesn't go the logical thing like, oh, maybe they're at work or maybe they're asleep.
And
My
neither
brain's
does
like,
Daryl.
maybe
If
they
I'm,
died in the middle of the night. And I'm like, brain, no one asked for this.
Oh, I
no, I go to the
sometimes
worst. Tiffany, are you in here? Hey, Tiff. Hi, Tiff. I didn't mean to miss you.
sometimes I don't reply because I feel like I'm not in the right headspace to give it my all. And if it's someone I care about, I want to be able to answer, like, do you know what I mean, properly and to my best ability. So if I don't ever answer, it's just because I'm just bleh.
No, that's
Yeah.
totally fair. And that's
But maybe I should just reply and say, sorry, I'm bleh at the moment. You know?
Yeah, just give me a
Well,
barf emoji
you're
and then I
welcome
know
here.
you're alive at least.
Oh no, that'd be terrible. Well,
Well,
Did
you
you
know,
get it?
we all have
you
those
now.
days, and
T, did you
emotional
get it?
fatigue is something that goes into this
Oh.
conversation, I think, is when you're going through grief,
Yeah.
especially with somebody who's in terminal illness or like we were saying with a cognitive degenerative issue.
Yeah.
You also have a limit of how much emotional anything you can take. Like
Your emotional bandwidth, you only have so much, and you have to put a boundary up.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
the
you
same
have
if you're on the spectrum as well. For some anyway. I know it is for me and my son. Yeah, emotional. I get emotional. I get emotional hangover. That whole stuff that was been going on. You know, the whole drama thing that's been going on lately in my community. I was in
know.
bed for 2 days after listening to all of that. Like, yeah, it's really kind of.
Yes, ma'am, I have,
lot.
and it's not helping any.
It has been a lot.
They are weeping as we speak. My feet are crying.
Yeah.
Let's see. The last thing is join support groups. Connect with others who have experienced similar situations. They can validate you and your feelings.
Yeah, enough is enough. That's what I'm saying is like, sometimes I'll reach out to someone and be like, just seeing if you're okay, answer when you can. Because,
Yeah.
if it's during my workday, I can't look at my phone for 8 hours during my job.
Yeah.
So, like,
It's so.
I do know there's
Yes.
like limits, but
It's great to have friends that just understand that and don't question it and don't get funny with you. Absolutely.
No
Yeah,
kidding. I'm like,
I only get
okay,
really intense when it's like there's a really bad fire or a tornado just went
I'm
through.
really
Yeah,
sending my prayers, my thoughts, and everything good in me and light to California right now, y'all.
Me
Yeah.
too, man.
Yeah. Wasn't
Let's
there
get
fires
close
in
to home.
Oklahoma? Didn't they? Don't they have fires as well? Or?
That's our friends over there, guys.
I heard Oklahoma and New Mexico have fires as well.
Jeez,
I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
The West Coast is kind of a
it's burning, and
Yeah.
we have sleet here all day, freezing us.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to bushfire season over here either. It's yeah, we had a really bad one a couple of years ago and it was devastating.
yeah. Like my poor friend, I was like texting him for the last day, being like, "You okay?" So I called him right before the stream, and he was like, "I'm losing my voice, but I'm alive." And I'm like, "Okay, bye. Drink some tea. Love you."
Oh,
Because that's when you care about people, right? It's tough. This life is so hard, and the more that we come together, and the more that we kind of just like hold space, right?
yeah. Yeah.
there's just some things, and it's a human instinct to want to say something to uplift someone's spirit. But what
Yeah.
I found in supporting some of my friends through grieving people in any state was just being like, yeah, this fucking sucks. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we're past the first 20 seconds of the stream,
we're
right?
good.
um,
I
like,
just posted a quote.
but just kind of acknowledging this sucks. There's nothing I could do to fix it, and I'm sorry you're going through this.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
put it all on there, did it?
But
Yeah, it's
Okay, so here's the second
feeling
part of it.
helpless.
Here's the second
when you
part.
wanna-
Sorry, y'all. Oh wait, no, I did it. Posted it in 2. Yeah. Okay.
I like that ghost emoji. I've never seen it before. I think that's a good one if you're feeling crap, just to send the ghost emoji.
oh yeah.
Looks like a-
I
Looks like a
gotta
happy
take
day.
the Christmas emojis off. I made some emojis.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
I made some Mardi Gras
Aren't
ones.
they cute ghosts?
As someone who's basically the whitest person you'll ever meet, I vibe with that emoji.
Yeah, yeah. It's the middle of summer in Australia here. Usually I'm like really brown, like coffee. And I'm just, I'm the same as you at the moment.
Okay, so you know that you
Certainly
can
going
still be codependent after your partner or your whatever's gone. Still be codependent, and that's something you're going to have to grieve and get through. It just compounded trauma. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you need support. It's like,
You cannot isolate. You cannot be by yourself. That's not good for you. That can lead to nothing but bad things.
Yeah,
will
it kind of
say
delays
kind
the healing, I think.
yeah.
Isolating delays the healing, apparently. I don't know. That's what Ree said. She isolated for 7 years.
Yeah, and that's
Um,
not good for anybody.
Oh
y'all.
man.
Yeah.
And she's such a
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
fucking
out of it now.
delight, man. Like honestly.
She's amazing. Yeah, she's
Hope
out
she's
of it
doing
now
good.
and looking at going back to work this year. And yeah, I'm so proud of her. She's doing really well. The shots really helped her.
And that's the thing too, is like sharing tips that work for you. They're not going to work for everyone, but to have
Yeah,
that
true.
open forum where you can say, I'm going through a hard thing. Is anybody out there who gets it? Because I think that's the thing about support groups that I didn't realize until after I left my bad ex and I actually started going to like DV support groups, is like not
Yeah.
having to over explain. The
Yes.
worst thing about
yes.
grief is it's so heavy and complex, and you have so many memories with this person. And just to be around people who are also going through it, where you don't have to sit down for 5 minutes and explain a chunk of what you're saying. You can just kind of let it all out. And like, it's
Yeah.
so healing, honestly. Like, I didn't realize how much I needed it till I started going.
I know. Enough is enough said. Sometimes, most times, being around people makes things worse. It's like I told you so. That's
Yeah, I totally
terrible.
get
Like,
that. But no, I
Yeah,
totally
I
get that.
yeah. I haven't had that here. I don't know. I would just say, don't give up and try different people. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not very good at giving advice. Sorry.
I'm gonna go. No, I mean it's good. I want to go to.
Is it that people
start
are
questions.
telling you that they told you so, or that's like an internal feeling that you
Like it
have
feels-
from the situation? Because I think I definitely resonate with that, having like hindsight's 2020, right? Obviously, once you've been through the
Yeah.
thing, you can look back and be like, there's a red flag, there's another red flag. But like, give yourself grace, and that at some point in your life, you were able to just live in the moment and trust.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could go back to me before my bad ex and just be able to like jump into friendships and just trust people again, right? Just have that bright-eyed excitement in life and not, see the lay of the land and be paranoid all the time, right?
Well, it's like this. Life happens, and then it scars us, and then it's cruel, and then we're screwed. Sorry if you came here for a pick me up. That's my best advice on that. Life tainted me.
Yeah. Huh.
So I'm going to try to get through some of these questions. Indigo, I think what makes it hard is they don't understand what is happening. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. And that's what's sad, actually.
It's like you
horrible.
know that it's happened, like you know what's happening, but
Yeah,
they don't,
they
and
don't.
so
No. But you still don't process it the same as, I mean, they don't either. It's like, that's my so-and-so, they don't know me. That is, it's the cruelest disease known to man for me. My mother had dementia. Marie says during her last years, it was hard to see the person I knew was gone quite a while before she was. Yeah. Yeah. Blake, my great aunt had dementia. And for me, grieving someone while they're alive that you love is seeing them one last time in somewhat good health. And you just feel it's the last time, but can't accept it. You're right, Blake. Yeah. Indigo, I didn't get to grieve my birth father or say goodbye, and that pain has never left me since I was 18. That is something that EMDR has helped me a lot with that. A lot. I totally understand where you're coming from. EMDR truly helped me with that. I mean, it may not help everybody, but it really did help me with that. But I'm thankful that at least the time she still knew who we were and who I was. She watched us drive away from her doorway. That's right, Blake. What's that, baby? That's all you
yeah.
can do. I mean, you just have to think about the positive because you can't stop the other. So you have to hold on to those as long as you can. Razzie girl, a best friend disconnected abruptly with me. Her issues. Me too. I cried, hurt for months, still think about her, but I'd rather be friendless than go through that again. Trust gets broken as well. Yes, it does. And yes, you're right. In my opinion.
I will say though, don't, and this is something I learned the hard way, I guess, is yes, if there is honestly a red flag somebody else you meet has that is similar to someone who left your life, by all means, listen to it, right? But don't give up what a friendship could benefit you as because one person hurt you. I think as you grow and meet new people, give them a chance to give that olive branch, right? Because kind of like Shakespeare says, right? It's better to love and to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. And also, the last thing left in Pandora's box was hope, which I think is a message people people kind of miss from that story. But
Yes, they
trust
do.
is hard. It can get broken, but if you find yourself able to start trusting again, you can get beautiful and kind of better friendships, honestly. Because you know what you won't put up with, right?
Anyway, we make our boundaries then. Okay, let's see. Go to my girls. Of course, I read a book to my youngest sons called the Blue Day Book, all about that it's all right to just feel blue even when you don't understand why. I really, really like that. I got to write that down. Oh wait, where's my thing with my books on it?
I love that there's books like out
I
there
do too.
like that because I think, you know, it's so hard being little when you're trying to figure out the world and then you have these big feelings.
Okay, I like that. Thank you. Okay, so then we have, and to get my birth mom and aunt had schizophrenia, and in her last years, my aunt had a really hard time. Yes, that disease is horrible. It really is. Yes, Indigo, I think being a sad child myself who I felt couldn't cry with my older brothers, I wanted to make sure they knew it was okay to just feel their emotion, take a self-care nap or whatever. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Thinking about their well-being already.
Dude, can we just work nap time into adult jobs?
Body
Yes.
illusion. When I walked away, I had to leave a lot of people behind that I considered my dear friends, and I had to hide from them as well. So I lost them behind all of this. Yes, you did. And you know what? You lost a whole lot more, but you know what you gained? You've gained a whole village. You've gained a whole lot of friends and chosen family.
And you
And
know
we
what you
love
gain when
you dearly.
you gain something even more important, that you gain yourself.
And you found yourself. And you know I love you, girl. I also read a book for myself called Raising Cain about how to raise sons without toxic masculinity. And I do grieve that the world turned out to be filled with more of those than I can even knew. Oh my God. Are you-
Girl, yes.
Oh my God. Can we just start on an amen right here?
That's a whole
Okay,
nother
I need to get
stream.
that book.
Oh,
Does that come in
me too.
audio?
That's what I said. Yeah.
I-
Y'all are killing me with the
Okay.
books tonight. That's good.
We all
right.
like to read here.
I know I read a lot.
I can't
Katie
read.
said-
I can't read books. I need audio. I'm looking that
I
up
usually get
right
audio.
now.
I started using Audible recently, and
I love
I
Audible.
love it so much.
Yep. Especially when I can put it on times 1.5. And okay, so Katie says I received a text of my soulmate in a casket blasting me on why I let him down, but I didn't even know I had talked with him and he lied to protect me. I have nowhere to go to say goodbye. I'm just trying to process this. So I get what you're saying, Katie. I'll talk to you about that. Yeah, Skylight. Yeah, that's so hell no. I'm gonna let them have their conversation on that. I don't want to. Brazzy girl, Adrian, I have PTSD from the other situation, but after 12 sessions, I learned to be stronger and accept and grow. It's good to cry. Connection is key. Yes, it is. Hugs.
Crying is so
Absolutely.
healing.
Yes. I knew the minute that I got out of the house, as they still were working on him, that I was going to need mental help after it was once from your emergency mode into shock. Yes, you do. Not saying that it just helps you process this. You want to process it. If you don't process it, it turns to unprocessed trauma, and you need to get on my series to figure that out. You don't want that. You need to try to
And
re-regulate.
but give yourself time to, like, grief is different for everyone, and we hit different stages at different times. So, like, yeah, definitely get help, but also don't feel obligated to push past a point if you're not ready to yet.
Okay, enough is enough. I wrote down at art classes to meet people down from my vision board today. Kind of ironic. That is kind of ironic. I like that. I wrote down art classes to meet people down. I like
Vision
that.
boards are a good
Yes,
way.
I have started on
good-
my vision board. I'm just not through with it yet. It's going to be up there.
Oh, hi T.
Where did T go?
Lost her.
Okay, Adrian. Bradley, I've also got PTSD after going to watch my football team in 1989, and sadly, 97 people passed in the same path behind the goal. Oh my gosh. What happened, Adrian? I know I'm way
Oh.
behind in the. Wow, Adrian, I'm so sorry. Wow.
Sending
Scott, this
hugs
is
to you,
so vulnerable.
Adrian.
Thank you for sharing. God. Blake, Keela has been there for me hand in hand through hell and back. Yes, we have, Blake, and you've been there for me as well. It's not just a one-time thing. You've been there for me as well. Barbie had a family FaceTime chat during Christmas. My sister and I said hello in small talk. It's been 7 years since we spoke. I forgive her, but for my own sanity, I had to break away. Maybe time to let go. So, there she is. Okay.
T.
Oh, hi. I look a hot mess. Sorry.
You're cute. Shut up. You're cute.
Okay, so read
I
this
haven't
one,
even brushed
T.
my hair.
I have a few things to say,
I don't know
but
what
that's just me.
I haven't even brushed my hair. Sorry. Yeah. I
Okay,
don't know what
so
happened. I
Barbie,
got cut off.
you can
And I don't think I
forgive.
can hear you.
You can't hear me, T? Uh-oh, here we go.
No, it's all right. It's all good. I can hear you. Yeah. So-
Okay. So I have family, the same thing. This is hard for me with family, and I'm going to tell you why. Because family is, I've lost too many of them, and the tragedy. And I don't like to cut family off, but there comes a point that I have to say, for my own mental health and my own stability, I cannot be a part of this, and I go zero contact. And for me to do that for a family member, it's a lot. It takes a lot. And so I guess I'm used to giving more chances than most, because it's not something I want to lose. But if it's for my own mental health and I know that they're not going to be any good for me, I'm going to get out. And yeah, Barbara, I'm going to get out. And I probably let it go also. And that's a hard one for me, because family is family. Tamber, I'm helping my best friend through a breakup, and my goodness, we were chatting past midnight last night. Even if I'm just here for her on the phone, I'm here. That's right. She's also 4 blocks away, so that's nice. That is beautiful. Someone not alone. Connection. It's all about connection. Katie, I will not see them if ever I get better. If you're not there when I'm struggling, don't be surprised to be absent when I succeed. You just drew a boundary. Stick to it.
Hell yes.
But I realized I
Absolutely,
was muted a second ago, but I was gonna say, I know we've talked about it on other channels, but to me, forgiveness shows that you've grown as a person and you've healed to a point where you can say, I forgive you, but if you still need to cut that off, that is totally okay too.
Yeah.
I just like
I
the
think it
fact
takes a lot of strength to cut someone off. It takes a lot of strength. My sister cut my mum off probably about 15 years ago now, and at first I didn't understand, and I tried to like get them to unite again. But now I understand that that's her boundary, and that's what she needs, and she's been happier since she's done that. So I have to respect that and accept it. You know, it's very awkward at weddings and family dinners, but yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
that's
But
the
you
only way
just,
she could
Katie,
see.
I want you to screenshot this if you can. Screenshot it. I want you to screenshot this. There's a reason. You set a boundary right here. That is a boundary. And you can read it a million times to yourself so you can remember it and know that that's a boundary you set, that you're not going to allow anybody to cross. I mean, that's straight to the point, and that is a boundary, and they need to respect that. Enough's enough. I got upset at the nurse who told me to let my mom go. She's waiting for me to say it's okay. I'll be okay. I was begging my mom not to leave me, so I told her it was okay, and then she let go. It was hard. Okay, so same thing with my grandfather and my grandmother. They wouldn't go until we said it was okay, and that's the hardest damn thing you have to do.
That is, and
because it's not okay.
yeah, I told my birth mom the same thing when I visited her.
But it's
before
not
she
okay,
died.
and we have to live with the damn trauma afterwards, you know. But we also, it's not their fault either. So I guess it's the price we pay for love. Grief is. The problem with that for me, anyways, now I'm starting to forget what he looked like. I remember his blue eyes, but his face is in a fog. I have pictures, but I go back to a fog within minutes. That is normal. Cindy, that's normal.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll get to a point
You'll
where
get it.
you'll get there. Yeah.
You'll get there. The brain fog will go away, and you will. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to lie to you about this. My dad, I don't see him anymore. Once every blue moon, he will come to me because I don't dream, but he comes to me in a dream, and literally he's right there. I mean, he's right there. I'm touching him. I'm hugging him, and then
He's with you.
gone. Yeah, and then he's gone. But I don't dream, period.
Yeah,
So
you
when
may
he's
not be
there, I
able
know
to.
he's there. Yeah, I mean, like I know
Yeah.
he's there.
You might not be
And
able to see them, but you can feel them.
Yeah, I mean, he's there. I
You
can
can
in my
feel them.
dream when I say he comes to me in my dreams, but I see him. But it's maybe if I get lucky once every 2 or 3 years, like when I'm really need my dad, and then he's there.
Dreams are what our spirit does when our body is sleeping.
And I believe that, because otherwise I didn't remember what he looks like, except that he's on my screensaver on my phone. Like I can't remember those memories anymore, but I do remember when he's there. So
Yeah. I
I've
used to
always
grieve his smell. His
yes.
smell, you know, like it was, I don't know if it was pheromones or something, but oh my gosh, you know, Loved his smell.
Wait.
Still miss it.
When you finally reach out and the other person tries to push off to someone or someplace else, they might say, "Oh, you should call so and so." The problem with that is, by the time I've reached out, I've been through hell to find my way into a space where I can reach out. When that response happens, I feel hopeless and lost, and there's just so much pain with that. I don't like that either. So you can reach out here all the time.
Yeah. But I will
Yeah.
say, in terms of certain medical aspects to grief or medical healing, like a lot of times this happens with the unaliving hotline, is that people are like not trained medical professionals. They might be volunteers, they might be working for the hotline, but they're not actual medical people. And so they have, in order to legally assist you but also protect themselves, they do, if they feel that you're in a dangerous place, they do have to recommend that you call or have numbers available for you to call if they can't assist you. So it is hard to ask for help, but sometimes if I'm not equipped to help somebody, I will tell them I can listen. I can't give you advice, but I might be able to help you in the future connect with somebody who can give you more help. But I can totally get how that feels.
The hole I've been hiding in so much has been filling up, and I can see the sky and the horizon now. Bit by bit, step by step, the hole starts to fill up. Absolutely. I agree so much with that. Blake
Yeah.
says, they see what their influence does to the child, and furthermore, how that can be used to manipulate others to circulate attention and importance back to the said parent. Yes, that is much house and byproducts. Perfectly said. Enough. My borderline daughter took away so much of me from my other two kids. Definitely. She needed me. All three need me at different times for different reasons, but she definitely took my attention away from them, though. And that is with borderline personality disorder. You know, probably more than I can tell you, that's going to happen, unfortunately. My little Brittany that's in here, so I'm going through the same thing with her. I understand how that is. It's trouble when someone you love does that. In my case, I removed myself from my sister's life. Yeah, okay, it was a person. Yeah, and then I lost my husband to his career. I tried so long. When I realized I'd never be first in his life, it was like a death. That is absolutely grieving. Absolutely. That is ambiguous grief. That is absolutely that.
Yeah.
I mean, if there ever was one, that's it. Yes.
That must be so hard too.
What do you mean, Barbie? What's up with me?
What are you done
She
now?
was probably when she came in the chat, she was just probably asking how you are.
Hey, Barbie. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Talking and caring for each other like we do in our chat makes me like it's a big group hug. It really feels special. Thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And yes, I love it too. I really love to be here. I really
Same.
love to be here. So, yeah.
I can't
Tea,
spell
Did
couch.
someone say sometimes?
Sorry, I'm not very good. It's okay. It's all good. I don't want to take away from Sin's grief. I'm trying to relate. You know, I'm not very, very good with grief. I'm sorry if I say anything that sounds cold or, I'm just, I don't know. Yeah,
actually,
sorry.
I think it's beautiful that we're all here. Tea. It's beautiful
it's hard,
because
but
everybody handles it different. And that's a good thing. Like there were different examples.
Exactly. And then when I put it will get easier over time. I mean, I don't, it never goes away. It's always with you, but I think you just learn to kind of live in it, but move on at the same time, start to function. I think what you're doing is amazing, going out and, looking for art classes and things like that is really, really, you're one strong person, and just keep doing what you're doing, and
I would
reach
agree
out.
with
Probably
that.
not
Yeah.
to me, because I don't think I'm very. Yeah, I
You have a
don't.
hard
I'm
wait.
not a therapist, and I don't know what to say.
Katie said she's still waiting on
Yeah.
a knock at her door.
Yeah,
You have a hard time with other people's grief. Yeah, I do too.
I think that's
I used to
because
see Adam in traffic all the time. I'd look over a car and I'd be like, "That's him there." Yeah, you know, looked just like him, but it wasn't, obviously. But yeah, it sucks. It's bittersweet, isn't it? It's, you see them and then
Yeah.
they're not there, but it's nice to see them as well. You know, kind of. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're checking in on you.
You know, grief is.
I believe that.
We were talking about, why they're still alive tonight. This for but it goes to a lot of
Oh, good.
things. Wars, just like with losing a job, there's a lot of things we could, like before COVID, after COVID, there's a lot of things we do grieve that while we're still alive, or they're still alive. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with dementia or Alzheimer's or anything, any malfunction. It's just a relationship. My poor patients that suffer from schizophrenia, that I take away their voices. I mean, you want to talk about feeling
Yeah.
about 2 inches big. That's how I felt. And so there's not a right way
Yeah,
and a wrong
right.
way to
Enough
do
is
it.
enough.
As long as, the way I look
Time's
at it
really
is, as
up.
long as you can
30
keep
years.
forward. As long as you can keep moving forward. Not at the beginning. We all know that it's just a roller coaster merry-go-round.
Yeah.
But to move forward, you have to move yourself forward. You can't stay stuck in this phase of grief or the familiar ones, because then that becomes your familiar and you have no life left except those familiar grief patterns.
Yeah. And I just want to acknowledge really quick, someone in the chat was saying that they have a hard time with other people's grief. And I think that's because society has trained us to try to deal with it in one day and move on. But the fact that you can sit in this chat and hear people's stories and even participate yourself, I think that shows a lot that, like, right, destigmatize grief. We all feel it. Why is it such a taboo thing to talk about it?
I don't see a problem talking about grief. I mean, I don't, because I guess the kind of work I'm in, I see it every day. But
Yeah, I get worried about saying the wrong thing or disrespecting someone, or because I'm not the best with words, and I think, I don't know if it's a spectrum-y thing as well. It's just I put my foot in it all the time, and things just fall out of my face, and then I'm like, oh my God, what did I say? And then I will fester on that for years.
But that
cringe about
person
it.
knows
So,
where you're coming from.
yeah,
And they
I
should
get
know from your heart.
I get nervous talking about it. Yeah. But I think as well, like, my family don't seem to get me like that. They give me a hard time all the time. So it scares me talking about it, I guess. I get very nervous talking to someone else about their grief. Yeah, I just don't know what to say. But like, I do hugs. I'm a massive hugger. And if anyone wants to come and have a hug, they can have a hug.
That's right.
I can do that. I don't know.
Man, I got to get out there, girl.
Oh,
Hug you in
sucks, Katie,
person.
honestly.
But Katie, I'm going to
Hey?
look up. Katie, I'm going to look up that for you. In fact, I'm writing it down right now. That's something I'm going to get on, because we're going to deal with that. We're going to take care of that. So,
Mate, right? See, with my bloke, oh, he was the love of my life. He was an asshole, but he was the love of my life. And we have a son and everything. And I was flying home to go to, like, I wasn't even in the country when he passed, and I was flying home, and everything said Adam everywhere. There was a country, how like you see the maps on the plane and it shows you all the countries you're flying over. There was a bloody town in the Middle East somewhere called Adam, right? There was, stopped in Doha, and they're giving a car away at the airport, one of the bloody competitions where the cars on the little the turnstile thing. What did it say on the number plate? Adam. Like, I kid you not.
gosh.
It was just Adam all the way home, and I'm like, give me a bloody break. Honestly,
See?
There was, and then got off the plane, right? Go to get a taxi. A coach goes past, and it's Adam coaches, and I'm like, are you for real? You know, I can laugh about it now. That was 9 years ago, so I can laugh about it. And I just, yeah, it was. I don't know.
I do have somewhere.
Bloody Adam.
I do have a website about actual grief. I mean, in-laws. And I wanted to share this because every year since Dylan left us, they post anniversary. They post date of birth. So they celebrate their birthdays. They celebrate their anniversaries. And you can put, like I put my dad on there. So they acknowledge his birthday and his anniversary, and they send me an email. They put it on their Facebook page. They used to have different things. It was my support group, my grief support group, but they used to have different things like caption this and you could win. And I actually won a few of them. They put your caption on the little card and then it stays at the top for the week. It's just it was really interactive. I haven't been as much as I should because I kind of just backed out, but I'm going to share this with you. Because this place right here is amazing and it helped me get through everything. It's like, let the tears flow. Sin, you would probably love this. You will probably love this because this.
I love the name Stanley.
Put his name in here and his date. All you have to do is register him on here, his date of birth and his date of death, and they will celebrate it every year. Both of them every year. And it's got everything on here. The gift of life. It's got the thoughts on grief and loss. It's got the resources, connect. I mean, y'all, this place is, this was my support group. And it helps me get through a lot. Let me copy this. And it's so neat how they actually acknowledge. Oh, wait, that's not supposed to go there. Acknowledge every year, ever since my grandson went away,
Yeah. And I think it's the acknowledgement, right? Like it's taking that and saying, I hear what you're saying and, they sounded like a lovely person or just getting that like support because to them, like
this is your support group, no mask required. And this.
Exactly.
Oh, well,
I think I got the wrong Raising Cane on Audible.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh.
Return it. But if y'all ever do go to that site that I just
I didn't buy it. I was like, there's this muscly guy on the front, like horses and stuff, and I'm like, what?
Ellie was their daughter. If you want to ever get to read
that's
this,
beautiful, Violet. I like that.
Ellie's story. It was her 6-year-old daughter, and she was
I'm going to look it up now.
Tragic accident. It was horrid. They have her eulogy, and she was so cute. She was so cute. I'm just looking at her pictures and her hugs, and she loves.
Oh, sending you so much love. Enough is enough. That's really hard.
Yeah, I'm looking on here, Ellie. And she loved to give hugs and all this, and she's so beautiful, y'all. She's such a sweet little girl, and
yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
Something I started doing, and it's taking a while, is I'm making ornaments to commemorate people. but it's taking a while because I have a lot of feelings.
I make ornaments.
Yeah, so I've been trying to get pictures from
Oh
Oh my
family
gosh!
members.
Can I show you the one I made for Adam?
Yeah, Ellie was beautiful.
I'll show you. Okay.
I can't help. I'm a super empath. Okay, Nico, I probably would be too creeped out about that.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're safe or you have reached a certain part with processing things like grief or loss or whatever, your brain tends to think you're ready for more and more when you would prefer that not to happen.
Just showed all my mess on the floor there. I'll show you. I'll show you my ornament I made for Adam. So hang on. Did I cut off there? I don't know. So oh my gosh, it's faded a bit. I might have to do it again. So it's like a floating ornament. So I don't know if you can see it. It says, "Your wings were ready, but our hearts were not." And it's got a photo of
yeah.
him with his big ears and his cowboy hat.
His big ears.
Oh.
Whoops. So it's like that.
Oh wow,
Oh, I love
that's
these
really
big ears.
beautiful.
I used to go boing boing. Thank you. Leave my ears alone.
Yeah. I guess I dealt with so much. Well, I don't know that I
We used to
actually
wind each
dealt
other
with
up.
it.
So he'd like,
Oh
I
no,
keep
go
cutting
ahead.
off. I keep getting like, I don't know.
No, it's okay. I'm
Going all
fixing to have to
glitchy.
end. I gotta go
It's
eat,
all right. I'll
take
just-
meds. But the Ellie's Way group was something I wanted to share because you can join their Facebook group at the very, very bottom. Join their Facebook group, and then you just put your loved one in there, and they do all kind of nice things. Their Facebook group is cool and amazing. I really like it. It helped me through so much, and I think Sim would probably like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So-
have a look at that.
Because like each week they have something different. Like they have caption this, so they put a beautiful picture up there, and people vote for the. I mean, and just what they did from their daughter.
That's so nice. And it's been going for 12 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Can you message me the link, Keela?
Yes, I can. And her story is just tragic for her parents, honestly.
I can't imagine. Like that's one thing I don't have kids. I literally my brain is like I can't even no loss is easy, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like having to bury your kid is just wrong on so many levels.
My mom said the same thing. That's her worst fear in life.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it's just elliesway.org. But I mean, it's really a good, and it's got.
That's one of the reasons I got so
It's just elliesway.org here. Let me
Sweet.
post it back down.
That's for sure. And I feel like empaths feel
sorry,
so
marking
deep.
over anyone.
You register your loved ones with them, and I'm going to tell you right now. They literally celebrate the anniversary and the birthday every single year, and I've got my dad and Dylan on there, and they're just so great. Just they have their Facebook support group is what got me through a lot of stuff, and what they did with their little girl with Ellie is just beyond amazing. That family went through it. But well, does anybody else have anything? We have been going for 2.5 hours. I know half an hour was me messing up my mic.
No, you're good. I mean,
And I was
think
actually
it's
on
just-
time.
I feel like when we need it, we go longer, and when
Yeah.
But I just want to say, they're gone but not forgotten. right? Because we share them with each other. And, thank you to anyone who's trusting us with those memories.
You're welcome.
You
Yeah,
know?
and
Yeah.
what I mean, I can't obviously make anybody keep anything here. If they go, but we ask that people respect mental health and the topics that we cover, and not go running all over to other channels. But for sure, you can go to the Facebook group, and we carry on and continue that conversation there. So no one's ever just left out here alone with all the feelings. That's not going to happen. We will. Thank you, Katie. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's what we tell her, Kate. She's starting to listen.
I'm out of drink too, so I need to go get my tea. But
She's right there. Sorry, bad news.
yeah, there's tea. There's tea. Talking about how I feel and what happens
I'm
seems to help
here,
some
but I'm not
people.
here. I don't know. I keep cutting
I have-
off.
I have his brush, and sometimes I just smell it just to bring him closer. I know it's not weird. I don't know that it's not
weird
weird
at all.
That's not weird at all. That's what T was just saying.
Not weird at all. Oh,
I mean, that's really not.
I have his oil stained shirt, and I made a cushion out of his shirt. It's a nice idea. I can show you that as well. I don't know if you can see me or hear me. I keep cutting off. I'll show you that as well. Excuse the mess. I'm in the middle of selling school bags.
I love you, T. So I'm just looking at Ellie's. Yeah.
So I've got this bag,
That right enough. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
and it's got a little patch on it, but I'm gonna get it embroidered because the patch keeps falling off. And it says, "This is for Jake." So I put, "This is a shirt I used to wear. Whenever you hold it, know I'm there. Love, Dad." So, and we call it the daddy cushion. So you can
That's so important.
hug it on the sofa together and stuff. Yeah.
love
Oh,
that.
we talk about him all the time. Because obviously I see him in my son. Yeah, yeah. He doesn't remember him. He remembered him when I keep cutting off. When he was 3, he said he remembered kind of like he was used to pull. He had a little beard thing, like a little, and he used to yank on his beard. He remembers that. Yeah.
There's also companies that
What's
will
that
make
movie? Was it
teddy
Adam
bears.
Sandler when he's going?
So
Yeah, there's
reading
people that make
Ellie's.
teddy bears as well. Yeah, yeah.
It's
I've got
really
one for
good
me as
to
well.
me.
We've got each, so yeah.
Oh, Katie, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice, Katie. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, I am
sweet
going
Kate.
to. Yeah, I gotta go eat. I'm
Yes.
take
I've
medicine.
never
and all
washed
that
it.
good stuff. But anyway, so tomorrow,
Yeah, I need to
I know that I
go.
did things backwards today because I actually was going to do the live Tuesday and then not do anything Wednesday because I thought I was going to have to go into the office, but we ended up going in Tuesday. Yesterday, I dealt with doctors, physical therapists, and home health, and all in between. And then today, I'm just hobbling around because I can't hardly walk. So my legs are crying.
Don't forget to elevate.
That's all I've been doing. It's not doing any good. They're still weeping
Yeah.
Yeah.
and hurt like hell.
Sending you so many hugs, Keela.
No, I'm over this, really. Yes, when somebody needs to talk, please go to the chats. Please go to the chats. There's always someone in there. If there's not, go to another chat right there. Everybody in
Oh,
the Mental
yeah.
Health Matters Facebook group, if y'all need to
Same.
talk, you go to a chat.
Yes.
Just ding,
here.
ding somebody. say something nice about yourself to yourself after this live. It's nice. Thank you. Enough is enough. I'm gonna
Repeat
say
after
it.
me.
Yeah, I haven't gone
Keela
into
is
it, so
cute.
I don't feel like I'm an asset in there.
Hell no, love
I
you.
don't know what to say
Really,
to
call
people.
me if you need
But if you
me.
need a
Love you
laugh,
too,
you know,
Sam.
I'm good at having a laugh.
Sometimes we
guys.
need that, you know.
But that's
Look
what it
after
doesn't.
yourselves
There's
and
no
don't forget
right
your
or
boundaries.
wrong.
And yeah,
Y'all,
just
there's
hug
no
each
right or
other.
wrong. Yes, I mean, it is what it is, and we cannot get
Oh, I've
past
got
some
such a
stuff
delay,
without going
and you are
through it.
glitching, and little circles are coming up.
Okay, well, we're gonna go so I don't make T insane.
Yeah.
It's not you, it's StreamYard.
Call me later, T, when you get a chance, honey.
I don't even know whether
Yeah,
I don't know what's
you're
going
over
on. I need to do my roots. I know that. Oh my god.
Laughs are good. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But anyway, T, call me
Yes.
later when you're not busy, please.
I will.
Okay?
I will.
I
Message me
know.
when you're free, and then I'll call you if it's
Okay.
not the middle of the night.
I know it's like
I'm
midnight
supposed
last
to
night
be
on
doing a
her
show
time.
later, but I have not organised anything.
That's it. Thank you, Anessa. That's it.
Yes, we've been doing it all week. We've been staying up past midnight.
Love
I
seeing
love
you
that there
all
are people in
here.
all different time zones and countries. So no matter what time it
Yeah.
is, someone is up to living my best life. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Well, y'all, I will see y'all over in the Facebook group. But please
Love you
like,
all.
subscribe, comment, whatever are you supposed to do and all that good stuff. I don't want YouTube coming back saying that I haven't been streaming like I was. Got to keep this sucker up. So, although I haven't been streaming like I was.
But you got to look after yourself as well, Keela. You know, you have to look
That's all
after
I do
yourself.
is look after myself. Come on now. I don't really do anything else, and I'm going to go insane if I have to stay in that recliner one more night. When that's where
Yeah,
I
but
love
you
to
look
sleep.
after other people at the same time.
My dogs like it when I sleep in there. They don't have to get in their kennel.
I literally can't hear what anyone's saying. It's doing
I know.
circle, 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 circle,
Aw.
popping in and out. So
Well,
I love you
thank
all.
you. Love you. Love you
Love you
too. Love
guys.
y'all. And
I'm
thank y'all so
gonna
much. I will
duck
talk
out
to you
because I can't
later.
hear anyone.
We are too. We are
We
too.
too.
We are too.
Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you all for
Bye.
being here. Y'all have a great night. Thank you to my mods in the red so much. And everyone
Yes, love Red.
and T, thank you both. And Indigo, thank you for being